are here with Cathy Al Mainprize, who, for those of you who have been watching our project at Rhodes and been following along, you know that Cathy and Al are Andrew's parents. Andrew, of course, is my partner, and Cathy and Al will be embarking, or have been embarking, on the Rhodes journey with us, and we'll be moving into one of the units. So thank you both for taking some time to chat and share your story and why you're doing this.
A pleasure, Philip. Thank you.
What prompted you to make a lifestyle change?
Philip, we've known for quite a while with some of the challenges of aging that probably where we were living was not going to be working for us in the future. We were in a townhouse with lots of stairs, and because Cathy has some mobility issues, that would be a real challenge, and perhaps I would end up in the same position at some point as well.
We had been talking about what our future plans would look like for some time, and I have never really pulled the trigger because we didn't see an alternative for us that we would both be happy with. I think one of the motivating factors is we wanted to be closer to family. The stairs were becoming a bit of a challenge, more than a challenge. I have fallen down the stairs on numerous occasions. Living in one level is going to offer me quite a significant positive life change.
What was it that you were looking for in your new place?
Well, I think that initially we started to look probably going further north. And then, of course, the issues with moving further north, if you need hospital, you need to be close to a hospital. It seemed quite remote from the city, so we'd be a fair distance from family. So that was an issue. I also looked around at bungalows. I didn't really want to get into more maintenance and looking after a house.
It's kind of my dream. I've lived in the city before many years ago, and I loved the sights, sounds, and feel of the city. I love being around people. It also offers a lot of opportunities for Al to explore different interests that he has. And a big plus for me is being near water, because I grew up around water, and it really gives me a special feeling.
We're starting to see a lot more where, those who are looking to sort of make their next move are looking to lifestyle. And we're actually seeing people in their, 50s, 60s, 70s moving back into the city or wanting to be around some of those entertainment and restaurants and lifestyle sort of amenities. So you've been looking casually at a few different options for some time. What were some of the challenges that you encountered when you were looking at those options?
Well, having to go to a bungalow would probably mean we would have to have another mortgage, and if you're retired, getting another mortgage is a little bit more difficult. There was nothing that really suited our lifestyle, I don't think, that we looked at other than this particular opportunity.
What were some of the challenges with condos and maybe Cathy, that might be something more for you?
Standing waiting in line for elevators, which would be a really big challenge for me. Long hallways. I think if I lived in an environment like that, I would become more closed off, because, when I come up against challenges like that, it causes a reoccurrence of symptoms that makes, life quite painful. So it's basically very restricting for me.
But ultimately, you did find something, which is the Rhodes Project that we are now getting pretty close to completing. What does this project do for you that the other options didn't?
Well, I think when you and Andrew first brought this up to us, we moved pretty fast selling our house because this felt so right. It was like a light bulb went off. It offers us the convenience of living right downtown. It's self-sustained, all one level, an exciting part of the city.
I think one of the other things too, Philip, is the fact that you gave us some opportunity to put personal things in that maybe the other units didn't have. Like we put extra money into the kitchen. We were able to personalize it.
Traditionally, what you saw was people waited until they were, in their 80s, in their 90s, and they got to the point where they had to, move out of their home, or they put up with their home, even though it wasn't conducive of their lifestyle. So the idea of right sizing and finding the place that suits your lifestyle, but also being able to age in place. And that's something I know, Cathy, you had mentioned too, even as we've gone through the design process.
That is exactly it, because with this opportunity of living at Rhodes, we're in a position that if we need extra help, we can bring them into our home rather than moving to a place where it is provided and it doesn't necessarily suit your needs. Being able to live at Rhodes is going to offer me a lot of relief, that I'm not going to have as many challenges, which actually saves my body from going into flares.
What did the ability to design your space mean?
We spent quite a bit of time, or Cathy did mainly, looking at other designs and things that we might like to add. For example, the kitchen.
It's been personalized for us, and it kind of expresses our personalities in a way. And it's just like being in our 20s again, like we're starting over. We're young, fresh ideas. So it is really exciting. The fact that the space will allow me to use a walker, that I can get down the hallways. The fact that very accessible walk-in shower. Like there's no physical challenges for me living in that space.
There was a lot of thoughts that we had done during the design process on, what mobility meant and how these things could be integrated up front, so that they weren't afterthoughts. They weren't, things didn't necessarily need to be changed, or if they did need to be changed later, they were easy and quick changes. You mentioned the kitchen and designing it, and it's been done in such a way where it's a longer kitchen. There's not a lot of angles to turn around in. There's going to be a lift for you at the back, designed in a way where it's integrated into the platform. So it's not this, let's say ugly sort of obtrusive mechanism.
I'll share a secret about people who have mobility issues and challenges. They don't want them to be front and center. You like to live in a space that accommodates a disability, but doesn't land in your face all the time, reminding you, right?
If Andrew and I hadn't embarked on this project with you, what do you think that you would have done?
Probably we would have ended up in a condo, which wasn't, really what we wanted.
Cathy, do you think today, if this wasn't what you were moving into, do you think you'd still be in your townhouse with stairs?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
As excited as you are to move into your place, we are equally excited to see what this project is doing for you. Of course, and others that the concept of missing middle, the idea of housing that is shared between 3 or 4 or 5 units within neighborhoods is something that I am a huge advocate of. And I think our city in particular needs more of it. Is there anything that you want to add?
This type of housing, like with the multiple units, is not only for people aging and wanting to age in place. It's also very accessible to young people starting out.
we think about, sort of the housing crisis being just for younger people or first-time home buyers, but we also need to keep in mind that we have a large population that is aging, and certainly going through this experience with you and with other clients, we're seeing that there is not a lot of housing options out there for those who are aging.
I think this is a real opportunity for both of us, and we appreciate the efforts that you and Andrew have put into making this possible for us.
We're equally excited. I really want to thank both of you for sharing your experiences, and we look forward to maybe chatting again once you're in the space.
I have to say, we feel really blessed moving into such a beautiful looking property. It's really, it really has a lot of eye appeal, doesn't it?
Yes.
It's really quite stunning.
Perfect. Thank you.